All right, what's up, everybody? Mr. Jones here with a lesson about setting up your grid, gradient, and pencil scale. So, as you know, we have these, this is like a blank, just a copy of the template that you're going to use. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a blank piece of drawing paper, you're going to lay it over top, and you're going to take this and hold it up to the window, and that will allow you to see through the drawing paper, and you're going to make marks to indicate where all of the little plus signs are, and label where the pencils are and indicate where the line is for your name. So I've done that here on this paper. So I'm done with the template, okay? So my next step is I'm gonna grab a ruler, and you could use either one. You could use the metal ruler. Has a nice cork backing so it doesn't slide very easily. Or I've got a handful of these plastic rulers, which are kind of nice to be able to see through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line that up. I'm using the HB pencil, just because it's generally a bit lighter. And I'm going to connect my lines. So basically, I'm gonna draw lines that connect all my plus symbols, all right? So when I do this one, I'm gonna connect these the four at the top here to create my box for the gradient, right? For those of you that like to keep things nice and orderly and cleaned up, you're more than welcome to use an eraser and just kind of clean up these extra little marks when you're done with that. That's totally fine. Now I'm gonna create the box for my little pencil scale, I think is what I called it. So you can have a little sample of each pencil. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my ruler to create the exterior of my grid. Now this is the actual grid on the actual drawing paper that we're gonna use for your actual bone drawing. It's my word of the day, actually, or actual, whatever. So I'm drawing these lines to establish the edges of that, okay? And I got this one down here. Okay, so I have my grid, I don't know, I guess the box for my grid in place. I gotta kind of tweak that line a little bit, okay? Now, you have to measure out and mark where the boxes go. So this is gonna be a 7-inch wide by 7-inch tall grid, all right? So this is all the measuring that I'm asking you to do. But the most important part is you have to be consistent with your measurements, okay? So for example, on the sides, I'm gonna start at the bottom. And since I'm a lefty, I'm gonna line it up at the bottom with, the 0-inch indicator here. And I'm gonna make a mark on this edge at every inch, okay? Now it's 7 squares, but I only have to make 6 marks, right? Now, to be consistent, I'm going to slide my ruler down to the other side and make my marks in the exact same manner, okay? So starting at, basically having the same starting point is gonna ensure that your boxes are straight, lined up, and not crooked. And that's really important for this, okay? Now, I'm going to do the top. And again, I'm lefty, so I'm starting from the left side and going to the right. You might do it differently, and that's okay, as long as you're consistent. I've done that, so I'm gonna slide this to the bottom, and I'm gonna line it up the same way and make my marks in the exact same fashion that I did above. Again, making a mark at each inch, okay? The reason I do it on the outside edge is because I don't want to have marks in the middle of my paper, because that will mess up the quality of my drawing. right? Because I'm gonna have these darker marks and I'm trying to do different values. So keeping those around the perimeter is gonna help keep your drawing nice and clean. Now I'm gonna use my ruler, and very lightly, as I've tried to stress quite a bit, you wanna use your pencil to just drag your lines lightly across. These are probably gonna be so light that you probably won't be able to see them from the camera perspective at this point. But I'm just dragging it down. I'm trying to line these up as consistent and even as possible so that I have good results and my drawing will be in proportion and I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so I did my vertical lines. Now I'm gonna start up here at the top and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm lightly holding my pencil and I'm just dragging it across from one side to the other. Just like that. Happy little marks. Bob Ross forever. Happy little marks. Okay? So it's a pretty simple process, but it has some important steps and important details that you need to do in order to set yourself up for success. And I've got my last one down here, just dragging it across, nice and even. Let's see if I can bring this closer and you can see my grid here. The lines are very light. They'll be very easy to erase, but yet they're dark enough that I can still see them. The last thing that you can do, if you prefer, this oftentimes helps me, is you can label the X and Y axes. So I always do letters down the side, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then I do numbers across the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. I'll put my name at the top and I'm gonna write down what section I'm in. So it'll look something like this for my next step, right? And now I'm ready to start doing my grid drawing. All right, that's all for now. Until next time, peace.